Good morning, gentlemen. My goodness, what a wild weekend of sport. And then you look at the Monday morning newspapers and it all comes down to really one team getting the focus on the back pages. And as usual, it's Manchester United. So the Sun Sport saying a mad Chester is their headline. Diallo stars after Amorim acts as rash and Garnacho. The Times going for Pep's quote, "I'm not good enough." Guardiola blames himself. City lose Derby to United, their 8th defeat in 11 games. That's 1 win in 11. Madness. The Guardian Sport, "I'm not good enough." They take that headline too. The Eye is saying a mad day, whilst the Daily Express say it's a mad one. So Amad Diallo stealing the show last night, the Manchester Derby. But it was really a game that it was billed to be 5th against 13th, which is quite unusual for a Manchester Derby, Jeff.
Yeah, and let's be brutally honest, it looked like a mid-table game. It was not a good game of football. Yeah, fantastic drama at the end, but one player was head and shoulders above everybody else on the field, and that was Amad Diallo. And he showed all the desire, all the passion that Manchester United fans want to see in their players.
I tell you, I watched the highlights. He didn't half look lively. He looked really, really lively. And for his goal, I just think it's a brilliant run. And he has a wee look at the goalkeeper, and his touch is beautiful. The finish is a difficult one, and you think maybe Guardiola should clear it off the line. But anyway, that aside, he just looked really, really lively.
Let's focus on Ruben Amorim just quickly, because the main headline going into this game is that he dropped Rashford and Garnacho from the squad. So the Telegraph saying Rashford in last chance saloon. They reported just last week that it looks like Marcus Rashford, they're now willing and considering to sell him in the summer. James Ducker said that Amorim claimed Rashford and Garnacho had not been dropped for disciplinary reasons, and he doubled down on that after the game.
No, the future is a new week, new game, new life. So they have to fight for the place in the squad, and that is really important. When you fight for a place in the squad, is everything. It's the way you train, the way you play, the way you push your teammates, the way you dress, the way you engage with the teammates, with the staff, everything. We evaluate everything at the moment, because we are in the beginning of something, and I think that is the base of the success. So new week was not a disciplinary thing. Let's say it again, it's not a disciplinary thing, it's just a performance thing in all the things that you have to perform to be a Manchester United player.
What do we think about that? It's a bit of a statement, isn't it?
I like it.
Yeah,
I don't have a problem with it at all. And I bet there's a few of the Manchester United guys come on this morning, Shaban. I think it's just what you want to hear. I mean, as I saw his interview last night, I think it was a Match of the Day, and I'm impressed. Again, I think he sounds great. He really does. Obviously delighted with his team's result. And what he's saying, it's just factually correct, really, isn't it? The players have not been left out for anything other than he didn't think they were ready to play.
But it was interesting when he said, but this is a new week.
Yes.
I look at them again in training this week, so it's almost like saying, you weren't playing this week, boys, but it's a clean sheet this week. Yeah. I'll be interested, though, because you were talking, Shaban, about whether they've got a future at the club. I'll be interested in who makes that sort of decision, whether it's going to be Ruben Amorim or whether it's Jason Wilcox or whether it's somebody else. And I think the other thing is Manchester United, it's a massive win, it's a great win. Don't get carried away. Before the equalising penalty, they'd had one shot on target in the game. So still a long way to go, but promising signs.
See, to answer your question there, who makes that decision? Surely, even in this day and age, it has to be Ruben Amorim. Because I'm thinking to myself, if Ruben Amorim doesn't want to play the two of them, right, surely those above Ruben Amorim are going to say, well, there's no point in us keeping these guys if they're not going to play for the man that we've picked to pick a team. It wouldn't make sense for them to hang on to them if Ruben Amorim decides, well, they're not my type of player, I think we should move them on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, no, it is one to think about. Let's talk about Pep Guardiola as well. 1 win in 11, back page of the Sun. I'm not good enough. I'm not doing well. Simple. Tough times for Pep Guardiola and for Manchester City. Looking at the back page of the Times today, Ian Whittle saying City went ahead in a poor game, though, José Cavardio's header, but Bruno Fernandes scored the penalty in the 88th minute before Diallo won the match. So this result means that they've won 1 in the past 11. And it's just quite incredible, really, watching Manchester City. Pep having to get used to this style of post-match press conference. He said he's taken the blame.
The reality, the reflection I have right now, I'm not good enough. So I'm the manager. Because it's one action is every single player or every single action, I will fix it. But happened many times, something is, I'm missing. The truth is I'm missing. So, and I had the feeling that always I found a way, to even the feeds, to find a way to say to the players, to tell to the players, to the training, the preparation. Always I had the way to get back. Now I'm not.
Any sympathy for Pep Guardiola here, guys?
Oh, I think you get sympathy for any manager, any coach when they go on a run like that. There'll be less sympathy for Pep and Manchester City because of the success they've had. That's natural. But he does, I agree with you, Shaban. He looks to me as though he's really struggling to come to terms and to find a solution to the problem, which is those stats you just read out there are nothing short of remarkable. 8 defeats and 1 victory in 11 games. That's just unbelievable. And the way you're looking at it, there doesn't seem to be any end to the problem.
Yeah.
You never thought, look, I thought Pep looked haunted yesterday.
Yeah.
And I did feel for him. We never thought you'd see a City side playing the way that they did, trying to hold on to a 1-0 lead, and it was summed up by that one classic moment in the second half when Erling Haaland is back in his own penalty area, gets the ball and wallops it 70 yards down the field to no one. Yeah. Now that just is not City.
Yeah. Dave Kidd has a good piece inside the Sun today. It meant Guardiola's side have won just once in 11 games, are now below Nottingham Forest, the only team they have beaten during this horror run outside the Champions League places. In the past 7 weeks, Ruben Amorim has now won more matches featuring City than Guardiola has. Wow. By the way,
a great restart.
I know, it's a good one. By the way, you were talking about the Wolves kind of shenanigans at the end of that game. What about Kyle Walker?
Oh, I know.
Mate.
Embarrassed or was.
By the way,
state of you.
Tell me, did Hoyland not embarrass himself a little bit later on in the game as well? Did he not take a dive or something?
Yeah. They're all
the two of them. It's embarrassing.
But Shaban, you mentioned Nottingham Forest. Gaz from the North says, what a weekend, but the mighty Nottingham Forest go marching on again into 4th.
Incredible.
And Gaz, they were fantastic as well. Thanks, Shaban.
Thank you.
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.